Hi, I'm King 5 meteorologist Rich Murray. Well, we made it to Friday. Congratulations. But if you're in the Pacific Northwest, especially around Western Washington, it's going to be a wet and stormy weekend headed our way. We're underway this morning. We watched the front and atmospheric river with a series of weather systems embedded in it. They're going to move through over the weekend. First one on its way in right now. We're seeing that rain really fill in mid-morning on Friday, filling in the Puget Sound. It's going to be wet up and down the Sound until later this afternoon when this back edge out there actually will move through and changes just a few off and on showers later tonight and into early on Saturday. But that's going to be followed immediately by yet another one rippling up that atmospheric river that's going to keep us wet pretty much through the weekend until we can finally get a little bit of a break as we head towards Monday. Looking out this morning there in the Bellingham area, you can see the camera moving around, a lot of ripples on the water. We've been seeing wind gusts up there up to about 35 miles per hour pretty uniformly, and basically about 25 to 35 miles per hour from about Everett northward. You can see the Everett Tower Cam also moving around, not quite as, doesn't look quite as windy there, and it shouldn't be for that matter. And looking at our wind gusts from our SchoolNet sites, see we had a 41 mile per hour gust. That's gone up there in Ferndale at Verizon Middle School. Bellingham, the Franklin Academy, a 31 mile per hour wind gust, and there in Everett as you come south, not quite as strong. St. Mary Magdalene School had a wind gust of 21 miles per hour. Checking the Tacoma Tower Cam, it's moving around now. It was pretty quiet earlier, but it's picked up a little bit as that front gets farther into Puget Sound. And looking at Snoqualmie Pass, our new camera there showing bare pavement, no problems across the passes. Not expecting to see snow at Snoqualmie Pass, which is around 3,000 feet until we head towards late Saturday night or early on Sunday. However, as a side note for you, both Highway 410 and Highway 123 Cayuse and Chinook passes are closing as of 10 a.m. this morning for the winter. So that's the east side of Mount Rainier. So if you're planning on using those passes anytime soon, you're going to have to wait until spring to have that opportunity. But when the other passes that remain open, we're going to be watching for some snow as we head further into the weekend. Checking the view there out along the coast of Westport. It's been raining since about 2 o'clock in the morning out there, and they could pick up anywhere from about 1 to 3 inches along the coastal beaches over the next 24 to 36 hours. First alert 7-day forecast does show the series of storms over the weekend, giving us first alert weather days for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so Friday and Saturday, that's going to be due to heavy rain at times and gusty winds. We have all the leaves in the trees and new growth on them, and so we could see plugged drains around the cities with standing water in some of the roadways, or some of those limbs might take out a power line here and there, so we might see some spotty power outages. Not looking for anything widespread, but we're just making that adjustment from basically summertime to wintertime weather, and the ground has to move along with it. So we'll keep close watch on that. And then as we head into Sunday, we're going to continue to see some rain around Puget Sound, some showers, but we're going to be in the mountains, see those snow levels down to about 3,000 feet, which is going to start to pile up snow there at Snoqualmie Pass as early as late Saturday night, and then maybe during the day on Sunday, that snow will continue. One thing to note, though, is we're going to be headed across North Cascades Highway. They may start to have problems with snow on the road on Saturday, so check the DOT past reports before you head across the mountains. They're not reporting regularly yet, but if there's any major disruptions, they'll note that on their website. Checking the satellite image, you can see the back edge of the system just off the coast. That's going to move through late this afternoon, early this evening. We're going to get a pause overnight tonight for this next developing system out here coming across on that atmospheric river. Is going to push in here with increasing rain tomorrow morning. It's going to turn into a wet and kind of blustery afternoon on Saturday. That front will be moving through Saturday night with some, it's probably the strongest winds of the weekend will be happening as we head towards Saturday night, and then we'll look for things to calm down a little bit as we head into Sunday. Overall, the National Weather Service has issued a winter weather advisory. That's from 11 o'clock on Saturday night through 11 o'clock on Sunday night because of that snowfall up in the mountains probably impacting travel. And we have a wind advisory in place there for the northern counties today until about 2 o'clock this afternoon, when the winds should be winding down and taking a little bit of a break before more arrives later Saturday. Checking the snow levels, you can see still pretty high today, 7,000 feet. Tomorrow dropping down to where you see some snow probably on North Cascades Highway. Might see a little bit around Stevens and White Pass, but shouldn't really affect them. And then when Saturday night to Sunday, down to that 3,000 foot level, which will affect Snoqualmie Pass. In fact, all the mountain highway passes. And then we do rebound a little bit as we head into next week. We take a look at the snow total starting Saturday night. You can see we do start to pile it up on into Sunday night at 5 o'clock. Anywhere from about 3 to 6 inches of snow, and not a lot of snow. snow, but people are not used to driving in it, so that potentially could be a problem and probably slow down traffic across the passes as you're heading back home at the end of your weekend, if you're headed across the Cascades anyway. So for today, we're going to see that rain around, turning to off and on showers this evening. It's breezy this morning, but the winds are going to diminish for this afternoon. Upper 50s for the highs. Increasing rain during the morning tomorrow. It's going to be really wet for the Husky game tomorrow afternoon. Breezy in the afternoon and evening on Saturday. Probably the strongest winds of the weekend. Rain continues on Sunday. We'll look for some mountain snow, as we were saying, with snow levels at 3,000 feet. Off and on showers Monday. Increasing rain again later Tuesday. A rainy and blustery day again Wednesday. Showers on Thursday and temperatures in the low to mid 40s. We definitely are in a fall weather pattern.